Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we need to make a very simple summer arrangement in just one of these pretty glass vases. We just call this a garden urn. It's just a glass vase filled with fresh water and some that has a little bit of floral food in there to help feed the flowers. We're going to start out with some leather leaf foliage as our base. Grab my handy dandy garbage can. I'm going to take that leather and I am going to cut those stems just at an angle, and I'm tucking those right down into my vase. Now this is going to give our vase a little bit of a grid, so it helps to keep those flowers in place when you add your foliage first. I'm just cutting each of those stems. I'm removing some of the foliage that's down low on that stem because I don't need that much foliage, so I'm just removing a little. And if there's a bump or a bruise on one of the fronds, go ahead and remove it. It's not going to hurt it. Okay, so there's our leather leaf, and so it's green all the way around. Next we're going to come in with some daisies. So we have these little white daisies. These are called yin yang daisies. They are little tiny. They're smaller than an average daisy, and they have little dark centers. So if you look at them close, they've got sweet little dark centers. I'm going to remove some of this foliage on this stem and any of the blooms that don't look pretty. Just go ahead and remove anything that doesn't look nice. And you don't want the foliage to fall below the water line. So that's the main thing. Take your floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and nestle him right down into that vase. We'll take a second stem, go ahead and strip off that foliage. Just like that. And I'm just going to stair step that stem down. And then I'm going to take one more, stripping off that foliage. Cut that stem at an angle, and then I'm going to tuck him in right here. Okay, so that is 3 stems of the yin yang daisies nestled right in. So I'm using those as our line flower here today. All right, next we're going to come in with a little bit of solidago. Yellow solidago or yellow aster is just a filler flower, and we use it very often here at our shop. Aster is inexpensive and it's long lasting. So I'm just taking and stripping that foliage off that stem, cutting that at an angle, and tucking it right in. And I've got extra, so if I need more when we get it finished, I can add more. I think one more piece here. Strip that foliage, cut that stem at an angle, and nestle that right in. Okay, so there's our solidago added. Next we're going to come in with some of these really pretty sunflowers. So we have some yellow sunflowers. They're very soft yellow. I'm going to take them, their stems are a little soft, so I am going to take a florist wire, and I'm going to put it right into the disc of the flower there, and I'm going to twist that wire right around that stem. Now what that's doing is helping to give that flower a little bit more stability. So if those heads seem a little heavy, go ahead and wire them. It is not going to hurt that flower at all. What it's going to do is it's going to help. I'm going to take that flower, cut that stem at an angle, and tuck him right into our arrangement. He's so pretty. We're going to take our second stem, strip that foliage. Sometimes it's easier than it looks. And I am going to go ahead and wire him. His stem isn't quite as tender as the last, but I'm wiring him for safety. So go ahead and wire him. And I think I'm gonna nestle him right low down into that arrangement there. So take your floral knife, cut that stem at an angle, and then I'm gonna nestle him kind of low, right there in the front. He's pretty. Okay, and then our third sunflower. And we're gonna tuck him kind of back here in the back. Strip that foliage, throw it away. I am gonna pull off some of these little buds around his head, and the reason is that they're a little heavy and they're not going to produce any flowers. So these sunflowers were actually grown locally, and so that's why they have some of these sweet little buds that are on the stems. We're going to tuck him kind of higher in the arrangement. All right, so we have our 3 sunflowers. Next, we're going to come in with some pretty yellow roses. All right, we are going to wire these roses, finish up wiring these roses really quickly. I'm just taking that wire and adding it to that stem. Just like that sunflower, it's just going to help keep that head up strong. So I'm going to take that stem, cut it at an angle, and tuck him right here in the top.
I thought so too.
Take the next one, remove any of those thorns. And then I think I'll tuck this third one kind of right there in the front. All right, and there are our 3 roses and our pretty yellow sunflowers. We're gonna add a little bit of aurelia. Just right down at that base. Gives it a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
And a little bit of aspidistra. This one yellow rose, I'm going to move him because he's kind of in the back. And I'm what I'm saying.
Out that way. These are artesian. And the cat has found a way in.
All right. The last thing we're going to add is a little bit of lime green ribbon because that's what the customer asked for. So let's make a fun bow. We're going to take and make a few loops with this. It's not going to be a big showy bow, but it's just going to have several loops. All right, I'm going to tie that ribbon using just a little bit of wire. And I'm going to fluff that bow. I'm taking just a little wood pick to add just a pick to the bottom, and it is just going to tuck right into the arrangement. And there we have our finished sunflower arrangement. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop that in the comments below. Be sure to follow us over here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button so that you can follow our videos. Guys, y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see you real soon. Thanks.